Hey, we got a special announcement for you guys.
That's right.
If you have heard that placeholder song over and over again and wondered, weren't there a bunch of songs that were made to replace that placeholder song? How come they weren't ever used? Well, we're going to tell you right now.
That's right.
There was a vote and a lot of recounts. And the recounts have been going on this entire time. Just recount after recount.
After recount.
Stop the steal.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah.
We stormed Rob's apartment.
Yeah. Brett had a problem with the voting machines for some reason. I don't know what the deal is there.
So we did go with one, and thank you for everybody who participated and told us which ones you liked, and especially the people who made songs from that. Was so cool. So we have a new intro, including our new song, and here it goes.
Woohoo.
Intro goes here.
Just a few fellas on a podcast, ripping in the pitching jokes and sharing some laughs. Rob Ryan, Bledra, Jerry Bernstein. Ooh, they want to know if it's something, if it's anything.
Often featuring Leedy Corbin. I was going for assassins.
Mm-hmm. Like
their laser
sniper
pointer.
bullets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not sniper bullets, laser sights.
No. Snipers shoot little red light bullets.
That's Star Wars.
But they take a long time to penetrate, and that's why the reason people see it, they go, "Oh no, there's a sniper!" And then they run away, and the sniper's like, I guess I got to use regular bullets now." And then that's when they say, "Boo-boo-boo-boo."
Wait, so you're saying that light travels slower than bullets?
No, the light that they shoot takes longer to actually penetrate, but it doesn't leave any evidence. So snipers prefer to use that. So if you just leave a little red dot there, it'll eventually burrow into your brain, and then the police come.
Move.
Yeah, exactly. Then the police come and they're like, "Well, this person just had a hole in their head, and we have no idea how it got there."
So in order for those assassins to be successful, somebody has to be like, ow, 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 but they don't move at all.
Exactly. I have got the worst headache.
Right here. Right here.
Where that
I
dot
would
is?
get an
Yes.
Advil.
Yes. Where the dot is. Exactly.
You know, related? Is that a symptom of the headache?
I would
Don't
get up and
mention
get
the
an
nail.
Advil, but goddamn, I'm feeling so lazy right now.
I want to circle back to me on the toilet just real quick.
Ooh, that's the inner monologue of my bowels. Jarret, I hear you, but could we circle back to you back on the toilet? Thank you. Really appreciate that.
Okay, just to piggyback off what Jarret put in the toilet. I'm also going to want him to go back to the toilet.
So tell us, Rob, why are you on the toilet?
So I have photos like that in my phone because I noticed just traveling around. I'm sure you guys have noticed it as well. For some weird reason, a lot of hotels have their mirrors in such a place where you can totally see yourself on the toilet, and no person's house is set up like that. I almost never experience it in someone's home, but I almost always experience it in a hotel room. And I was just telling a friend of mine that at work years ago, and he was like, "Oh yeah," and I said, "Yeah, it's so weird." So I just got into this running gag where every time I was in a hotel on the toilet and I could see myself, I would take a picture and I'd send it to him. And it must have gotten up to 20 photos. It was pretty absurd after a while.
Yeah,
For years.
it's weird. There were things that I had never seen on my body before going to hotels and being like, oh, that's what that part of my butt looks like. You're just like, oh, is this what it looks like when I wipe? Cool. I thought I'd never know that.
Oh my god.
That's true. Yeah. It's so
I like the world where the way you look when you wipe is not just how you could imagine that you look, In my brain, it looks like this, but
I'm actually, I'm really cool when in actuality.
Yeah, now I have to flex. I'm so self-conscious.
Now I wipe like this.
You guys say that this is not a common thing in people's homes, but I lived in an apartment. In the bathroom, one of the bathrooms, there were mirrors on every wall and on the ceiling.
Oh, wow.
And so every time you went to the bathroom, it was a Doctor Strange style multiverse of you taking a shit.
I would venture to say you lived in a weird apartment.
It was pretty weird. It was
Are you
pretty
sure it
weird.
wasn't just one of your appointments?
Because
One
you
of your
were very
appointments?
sick often, so
so they could like check out your prostate or your butthole or something like
So
that.
this wasn't just like a doctor's
Yeah,
office where they
an
put you
examining room.
in a room of mirrors.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, like the dentist has that little thing so they can see the reflection of under your teeth. They have that little mirror like that, but blown out for all of your intestinal problems.
You
So
know,
there's a mirror everywhere.
I want to be with you on this so badly, Brett.
It's a stretch, and I'm really trying. I'm just treading water here. Somebody
Leedy-
throw me a preserver.
Leedy's helping you. She's like,
I was
baby.
enjoying it.
Thank you.
I was really enjoying it. I was really trying.
It sort of feels like if a doctor was like, look at every part of your own body and then tell me. Then they would put you in like the mirror room, you know? Speaking of which, are we ready to get the episode started? Because I got a catch-up thing that I want to tell you guys about.
Let me read some of these comments, and then we'll get to
All
them.
right.
Oh, Karen Nelson is joining us. Haven't heard from Karen for a
Karen
while.
Nelson.
Glad to see you here, Karen. Rob Ryan and the Multiverse of Hotel Bathrooms.
We kind of
Karen
had one
says,
of
"Hey, I'll
those.
admit to
We kind of had one of those at the Moxie, and we were sharing a room with our tour manager too. So, but there was like a window to the shower from the bed, so it was a very interesting experience.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah,
Was it
and it
the
was weird because
Moxie?
nobody could watch us while we all showered at the same time.
Rob, that reminds me of when we first went on tour together and we started at Steve's house in Pittsburgh, and we saw his shower that had 3 shower heads in it. Oh no, it had 2 shower heads in it. And I was like, all right, group showers. I call Steve. You got to shower by yourself, Rob.
All right, Jake, what's the catch up?
Woohoo! Okay,
Give it to us.
so as you all know, my body is a nightmare. I have been suffering with this very weird acid refluxy kind of symptoms for a while. We had an episode a while ago where we talked about my gastroenterologist and her ego with being asked anything that isn't about specifically the eosinophilic esophagitis that is her specialty. We had a follow-up today to talk about the results of my latest endoscopy. And so here's the good news. The good news is that my eosinophil count has gone down. So now I'm in the neighborhood where they're not really worried about this turning into like Barrett's esophagus or cancer. Now it's just like you've got a very aggressive form of acid reflux that now you have to deal with. And I'm like, great. But then we sort of talk about like what's going to happen going forward and how I'm going to solve this problem. And she gave me probably the best advice that I've ever gotten from any doctor. And it was so amazing. I actually wrote it down. So I want to make sure I got it 100% correctly. So when asked about what to do with my symptoms going forward, she said, and I quote, talk to someone else.
Wow.
What a peach.
Yeah. So
What a dreamboat.
I was on a video chat with her and I was like, yeah, I'm completely lost. I feel like the medication was making me feel worse. And now that I'm off the medication, I feel better, but I still have these recurring symptoms. And I don't know what I'm eating that's doing this, because I eat a little bit of this and it's fine, and I eat a little bit of this that is not fine. And I'm like, what do I do? And she was like, oh man.
Wow.
You ever see a cardiologist? You ever go see I was like, a heart doctor? She's like, yeah, this could be, related. This could be a heart thing. And I was like, okay. And she's like, also, what about an ear, nose, and throat doctor? Everything about that. I was like, yeah, I suppose that's the thing. She's like, they're also, if you find someone who's an esophagus expert, that could be like a really good thing to do.
She's like a podiatrist. I think that's a doctor, right? I've heard of those.
Wow.
Ooh, a pediatrician. I know you're old. You're old to go to a pediatrician, but any pair of eyeballs could probably help with this issue.
Not mine, not these.
Not these. No.
These are tapped.
Let me be clear. You no longer have a problem with eosinophils in your esophagus. And because of that, I'm out. I'm done.
She learned only a couple of phrases in another language. So outside of those couple of phrases, she's like, no hablo.
It's funny because normally doctors are it's on you to be like, I'm gonna get a second opinion, but this doctor is like, By the way, you should also get a second opinion. In fact, I would prefer if you get the second opinion if I was the second opinion.
It's so funny how narrow of a range that she has. Where like, you know, like, is that even doctoring? If everybody who comes in, she's like, it sounds like you're eosinophils. She's like, I don't think that's what it is. All right, well then, good luck.
I wonder if there's some kind of like referral thing where she's like hoping that you'll ask her for a referral, like, oh, do you know any? And then she'll be like, yes, and then put in all of her friends, you know?
No, she did recommend me a doctor who is not in my insurance, so you know she might as well have just recommended I go see a cat, you know. But really, she took all this information with the same. She was as helpful as if I had told any of you guys. You know, she was just like, "Yeah, wow, oh boy, that does sound rough."
Have you talked to someone about that?
You should see a doctor.
That sucks, man. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I mean, I don't like her. You know, like she was consistently late, had a massive ego, was mean to me for no reason, you know, extremely unhelpful. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, good riddance. Okay. Now I gotta go find a new doctor though. So
I'm just gonna catch up on some comments here.
All
Karen
right.
says, "Yum, big showers." Yes, in all capital letters.
Nice.
Dizzy says, "I'm watching this in Kroger's. I can't wait to laugh and make people confused." I went through the same issue, my friend. Message me if you'd like to chat. Oh, already more helpful than your doctor.
I'm gonna message them, and she's gonna go, that sounds rough. Oh boy. Maybe you should see a doctor about this.
In the meantime, I do have my Doctor Strange image. Here's one of them.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
Was this a Halloween costume, Rob?
It was, yeah.
It's
Halloween.
extremely impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it was definitely high end. Like, it was definitely a couple $100s.
But you probably made all that back taking pictures in Times Square, right?
I don't charge for those, but I did take hundreds of photos over the course of that costume for sure. Because I also went to a Comic-Con that year. I believe so on Halloween, when I'm inclined, I like to like kind of go all out, and then I will do just that. I'll kind of go into Times Square if people want to take photos and stuff. I think it's kind of fun. And then I went to Comic-Con one year, just walking around. My first year, it was fun. And then I went to Comic-Con as that like pretty pristine Doctor Strange. And like, you just cannot move through Comic. I was not able. I was like, oh yeah, I'll meet you over there. Like, just an hour to get from like one side of the building.
Because everybody was like, let me get a picture.
Yeah. Just like, it's so crazy how much. And I was able to empathize with you know the female experience more. Just being like, just because I look like this doesn't mean that like you own my body or you have like unfettered access to me and you can look at me this way and you can whatever. But people felt like, you're like, well, you're dressed up. Like, come here. I was in the bathroom. They're like, hey, can I get a photo? I'm like, dude, just fucking give me a second. Like, I want to just, maybe when we get out of the bathroom, maybe.
Wait, I'm sorry. Just because I'm dressed like this, you think that I want you to do magic at me? All right?
Stop with this. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, that's amazing. Do you think that it was the same experience for anybody dressed up, or you because you look so much like Benedict Cumberbatch?
I think that like as you get better looking, like, you know, as you get closer to that thing, because I've gone out in Halloween costumes where I've looked like, okay, like, oh, that's pretty good, and people are like, oh, that's a cool costume. But if ever I just particularly nail it and something just looks awesome, people just want to be a part of that experience more. And then also when it comes to, because this is like normal, you can see your whole face. With Halloween, it's even different because when your face is obscured, it dehumanizes you to a degree where people will become aggressive with you if you are not very compliant, which is really bizarre too. Guys will just get like, hey, they'll like push you. It's really bizarre. I think there's just this weird human response of like, I don't know what I'm looking at, I'm gonna beat it up.
Yeah. I feel like mascots deal with that a lot, or anybody who's doing like a Disney World thing where they have a mask on. People just feel like, oh, it's just a huge stuffed animal.
Yeah. I was in a supermarket like a year ago, and there was one of those like little moving robots. It was like, "Hello, my name's like Fred. I'm a robot," and I'm just like, "I want to fucking kick that thing over." Like,
And it pulls off its robot's head. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
I'm like, "I'm sorry, I didn't know what I was looking at."
I'm trying to make money for my family. You come over here. I can't have a job. Huh?
Rob, did you ever, while you were Doctor Strange, did you ever like somebody asked you to grab something or hold something, and you're just like, I can't.
So that's my catch up. What's up with you guys? How's everybody else doing?
I have a catch up.
Ooh.
It's not too exciting, but I saw the ad, the infamous McDonald's ad, Rob. I saw it and I thought of you immediately. I was like, this is some bull crap, because specifically what they say is, what's better than free fries? Having an app to go with those large free fries. And I was like, wow, you cannot lead with that and then not make good on it. That's ridiculous.
Thank you, Leedy. Thank you.
Did you then
Also-
try to use the app to get your free French fries, lady?
I'm not gonna fall for that bullshit.
Thank you, Leedy. Perfect. Now Leedy and Brett are fully on Rob's camp. Jarret seems to think
Never. Never.
If it was a Just Egg app, you'd have Jarret
Oh, I'd be
up in
furious.
arms.
I'd be absolutely furious. I was
local-
told that I was going to get 3 sticks of celery to go with my omelet.
If it was a local farmer's market app, Jarret would be actually
Listen,
probably pretty understanding.
I know there's someone back there who gives away celery sticks. All right, they cost nothing. Just give me the celery sticks. It's not a big deal.
I have a catch up. Actually, Leedy and I have been, since she moved in, we've had this bed conundrum because my roommate who moved out, he left his queen mattress. So we were like, oh, sweet, a queen mattress. I currently, before that, had a full mattress. And we were like, okay, well, we'll just take the queen mattress, put the full into the guest room. But the queen just doesn't fit in my room. And the other room is significantly colder, which is not good for Leedy coming from New Mexico. So we were like, I guess we'll just use the full, and it was less comfortable. Also, when he originally bought the mattress, he had they sent him a twin instead of a queen, and he never got rid of it. So now we have a twin mattress, a queen mattress, and a full mattress, and we can only use the full mattress.
Can I guess how you fix this problem?
I mean, I can't wait to
Yes.
hear it, because you're not gonna get it.
Did you open a mattress store? Because you have almost every kind of mattress right now.
Yes, and I also have waiting for me an extra twin mattress that my dad has offered me, which is actually extremely comfortable, and I kind of do want to take it. But
It's kind of funny that your dad heard this story and was like, this guy needs more mattresses. More mattresses. More mattresses.
You should get ad space. Be like, hey, I'm Brett Druck. I got so many mattresses, they're coming out of my ears. Do you live in Jersey City? Pick up a mattress.
People are
So
going
we
to
have
call you
not-
up and be like, I don't want to buy one of your mattresses, but I got a mattress here I could give you.
Well, we have not solved the problem of having too many mattresses, but we did do is turn the full into a bigger bed than a California king by turning it sideways and adding 2 ottomans to the end of it. Because really you're just supporting your feet with that. And then I put a layer of memory foam on top of it. And so it's the same memory foam on top of my mattress. And so you really can't feel the difference. And it is just like, we have so much room on the bed. It's amazing. And it just fits my room perfectly. It's great.
That's awesome. Well done.
Are you
Yeah.
gonna tell them what we call it?
Oh, because there's no name for this size. We just called it a demigod.
When that memory foam, when you fix this, maybe get a normal bed, it's going to be like, oh, God, I don't even know. I was like half an ottoman for a bit. I got such a sordid past.
Who is this memory foam talking to, Brett? Rob? Is it other memory foams? Are they sharing stories down at the memory foam club?
Yeah, they're in like a little circle of chairs at like a VFW hall.
All right. Well, should we get to these the Jokalokes?
Let's
Yeah,
get
get to
to
the
these
Jokalokes.
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 Jokalokes, that's what our fan base will be called. The
God,
So for
this is awful.
Oh, it's so bad.
You're making me See, here's the thing: is that
Jokalos.
it's so silly that we love it and we're laughing at it, and now that's gonna be it. You know, there's a thing that we do sometimes where an idea is so bad we just relish in it, and then it just becomes a fact.
You mean like when we did Ruth Bader Ginsburg for like
we did
7-8 episodes?
Yeah, exactly like Ruth Bader Ginsburg. All right, our order this week is Jarret, Rhett, Rob. Oh my god!
So Jarret and then Rhett and then Brob.
I'm dying.
Your reaction though was so funny.
I'm dying.
It's like a pretty classic thing to do. You switch the letters, but Jarret reacted like he just got a cancer diagnosis.
Because that's what that means. You know, like there's something in here. It's fucking things up. All right, our order this week is Jarret, Rob, Brett. Jarret, Rob, Brett is the order this week.
Love it.
Okay.
All right, Jarret.
So it's a very unfleshed out idea. This is what I got for you guys today. When I was, I'm gonna start differently.
Unfleshed out.
Help me out here, guys.
One time,
when I was just 17, I don't know.
Somebody is interactive. Someone give me a year that I was in this joke. Okay. One time I got pulled over for making an illegal left-hand turn. I did not have proof of insurance on me. I did not have proof of registration on my car. And I had an unpaid speeding ticket, and my driver's license said that I was a woman. The driver's license was not my fault, but I did not get it fixed for a long time because I thought it was funny. Clearly, there was someone at the DMV who was like one of my bullies from high school, like, Jarret, that girl? Okay. So I get pulled over. This cop is dealing with this deluge of things that I have done wrong and that I have continued to do wrong, runs back to my car and goes, "Why does your driver's license say that you're a woman?" And I go, "Oh, did it? I don't know. I had no idea." When in reality, for 3 years, they'd been showing everybody, like, "Look, my driver's license says I'm a woman." And then he let me go for all of those. No ticket for the illegal left-hand turn. No, nothing. He was just like, "Just get out of here. The paperwork is going to be insane. Leave." And obviously, this is an example of how I'm white. But also, I think it's a little bit like our country's attitude towards Donald Trump. Because on the one hand, there's like people like myself who are just like, he's done so many things wrong. Can we please just throw him in jail? Please. Like, it's so obvious he belongs in jail. And other people are just like, could you just go? Just go. It's going to take so much work. If you just leave, please. All right, that's what I got.
Very apt analogy.
Thank you.
Good pivot.
I think there's a lot of room for jokes along the way. I would love it if you'd said, and he comes back and he's like, "Why does it say you're a woman?" That officer, J.K. Rowling.
I think you should add the thing that Brett said that kind of got covered up, where you were like, "I think this is a case of me being white." And then Brett went, "and a woman." And I thought it was very funny.
That is funny. Oh, Leedy's just real blurry right now. Is that on purpose?
It's when she gets cold. She's freezing. She's stuck in ice now.
There we go.
Oh, good. She's defrosted.
Now she's doing one of those TikTok transitions. Oh my God, she's got makeup on now.
She's beautiful.
If you think about it, going to the eye doctor it's just like one of those transitions.
What do you mean?
TikTok. Every time they're like, no, when they change the prescription, I guess you don't have glasses, but if you do, it's just like, how does this look? Oh, not very good. How does this look?
It would be insane if you were doing that and then it was like, all right, which one looks better, this one or this one? And then when he did the second one, it was the eye doctor, but he was just like totally glammed up, you know?
Yassified.
Yeah, exactly. My bitch got a body like Alpha.
That's
definitely
hilarious.
7 was the one.
Well, okay, so now we've taken some tangents. Back to your bit.
All right.
How old were you?
This was, I think I was 28 years old at the time.
So it could have been the 90s. Who knows? So I guess I don't know.
My fiance hadn't even been born yet.
She's just crying in the passenger seat.
Oh, I forgot to mention I had a baby that wasn't mine in the car.
You're upsetting the baby, Officer Rowling.
Oh, here's a direction that I hadn't thought about before. Would it be funny to maybe like add things that I didn't do wrong, where I'm like, how many more things could I have done where this cop would have been like, get out of here?
Well, you know what's interesting is that, and maybe because you were 28, you're telling the story from a 28-year-old perspective, but by that I mean, when I heard it says that I'm a woman, like I just couldn't get transitioning and woman and man thing out of my head. But that's just because it's just like so the fact that that wasn't mentioned, there's nothing to do with that coming from you as well. It just, it almost seemed like you were purposefully avoiding it because you went for like, isn't that crazy? But today it's not as crazy. So it's just like, I'd be more like, well, is that a mistake? Or well, I don't know.
I think you do have to nod to it in some way, and there's probably room for jokes in there in that, by the way, this was back when blah, 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 before this was, more widely accepted. And somewhere in there will be a joke in however you express that.
Yeah, it's just weird because then you have to be like, so that's totally okay, but just so you know, I'm cis, so this was weird for me. It's just like a strange, I don't know, I'm a little caught up on it because you so thoroughly ignore it. But
yeah,
I think
there's a big piece of grist in the middle here where we're just like, we have to undo this knot. Because if I don't mention it, it's always going to be a part of the audience's brain. But it almost feels like there's room here for something funny about acknowledging that it's completely normal now to be presenting as male and to have an ID that says female because you haven't gotten changed yet, or I don't know how it'd work if you would transition first and then you get your ID changed, or you get your ID changed and then you're transitioning the other way. I don't know what direction to go in.
Yeah, it's just because that is a reality for certain people, where you're like, well, I have a lot of things that I need to do. I'm going to get my name legally changed. I have to change my name on all my credit cards and I have to get my license changed from male to female. Like this is something that is part of that, the experience of a trans person. So that's why I'm just like, especially with you, who may have just 30 seconds ago been like, gender's a construct, and I don't know why everyone's got such a problem with it in your act.
Rob, I have a challenge for you. Can you say a liberal thing without doing like a jokingly angry voice? Because most of the things I say very matter of factly. And come on, but chief on the police, what the hell, man? A lot of my conversations are like, well, wealth inequality is a real big problem. Wealth inequality is a big problem.
I've seen your TikTok. I think you're yelling at him.
I do a lot of yelling on the TikTok, but mostly when I'm playing Republicans. But I do. That's actually funny. Like everything you just said about like the realities of being somebody who's trans needing to change their name in the system. If I mention that this happened a long time ago, when the cop sees my ID, I can be like, obviously, if that happened now, the cop would go through this mental equation of, okay, this might be somebody who presents as male, who identifies as female. This might be somebody who is transitioning into being a female. We don't know yet. So we're just going to deal. Wait, what?
So I'm going to write him these tickets.
Yeah.
So I'm going to write them a ticket.
I said,
All right. But this was 2008. So instead his reaction was, why does your ID say that you're a woman?
So really it's trans people have made it harder to get away with crime.
Yeah, that's the thesis of my bit here.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Message received loud and clear, buddy.
I wonder if he was just like, he just couldn't wait to tell the story to his friends. That he was like, get out of here. I have to go tell people about this.
I got a lot of text messages to send.
You're like the table that comes in at 10:55 p.m. and it's like, fucking. He's got like 2 minutes left in his shift. I'll pull him over. It looks like I'll just give him a little warning. You're like, what this? I caught the fucking Zodiac killer
of driving infractions. This guy's car isn't registered. He has no proof of insurance. He's got an outpaid speeding ticket. We're going to catch this sick son of a bitch. Over at 7th Precinct, they say he doesn't even exist. He exists, damn you. All right, crazy McCluskey over there looking for his ghost driver.
He's got strings on the wall, with images all over the place.
Oh, that's so funny. It almost feels like a really low rent, like one day till retirement. He's just sitting there looking at a picture of his boat, and he's just like, all right, just gotta get through today.
My dad told me a story once about his buddy who would just like get parking tickets all the time, and he just wouldn't pay them. And then eventually he walked down to them, to like the police station. For whatever reason, they couldn't, at that point, they couldn't just like be like, okay, well, now you're going to have a court date. Now there's going to be a warrant for your arrest or whatever. The penalties weren't there. It was just like, they just kept accumulating until you finally went down to pay. So he went down after it had like way outnumbered the worth of the car, and he just handed them the keys.
Sir, that's not how this works.
He was like, yeah, I'm not paying this. You can go ahead.
We finally got it. We finally got the perpetrator with the car. There's a bunch of jail cells of different cars. What are you in for? I hit a kid.
It's before the cops had figured out that people were driving the cars. They're giving parking tickets out. You believe these cars are going to crack down on them?
Or if they go out to the parking lot and it's just the car, and then a cop leans over and he turns off the security camera, and he's like, I've been waiting for this for a long time.
I did have a couple other notes for the actual joke here.
Okay.
One would be he's just like, if you're going to make the analogy of Donald Trump, you can say like, he's got this, he's got this, he's got this. Can you just, no more Twitter? All right. And you can go.
I like that. I like that a lot.
And then the other thing is, and I don't have this fully thought out, is there may be something for an analogy in something that wasn't funny, isn't funny now that was funny then. Like there may be some way to bring that to like kind of the point that you're making from the past to now, like with something else. It would be as if a man with a license plate that said woman, it was just like a bucket of water filled with fire that says fire on it. Like it was like that opposite. So I'm saying there may be some kind of analogy in there. That it was
like
that mind blowing.
Slipping on a banana peel or something. Like what's a vaudeville joke that's not funny anymore?
Yeah, back in 1990, whatever. That was as if saying that was like
19,
as if.
Can we just hold on a second? This is 2007, okay, guys?
1990, 17.
17. Had the nation been established yet? I forget. Was this a red coat that pulled you over?
It's a little light on a horse.
Okay.
Why does the Declaration say that you're a woman?
He's reading your license.
Why does this scroll? That's what it is. That's better.
Yeah. Anyways, that was it. I think there's something for an analogy of like back then that was as mind blowing as if today we said whatever.
Yeah, you guys are giving me a lot of directions to flesh this out. So much obliged. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. And next up, we got Rob Ryan.
All right. Great. I've got so many ideas that are like, I don't even feel like they're good jokes or good ideas yet, and I just don't know which bad idea to pick from.
Well, a Rob Ryan bad idea is still better than a regular idea. So,
oh, that's so sweet of you to say. Thank you. Okay, here's just a thought. Do Christians get that atheists also appreciate sun rays through clouds? It doesn't belong to you. Every time I see a picture of it, they're like, look, it's God. And I'm like, maybe. I like it too. It's very pretty.
Can you go somewhere in a direction of like, you know how people will argue like, well, how do people know not to murder if there's not like a code? And you're like, that shouldn't be the reason you don't murder people. So I don't know if there's some analogy in there. If you can go from like, well, how do you know that if it's not from God, then why do you like it? Because it's beautiful. but God didn't make it. So
Yeah. Oh, what I was going to say earlier was it's a little bit like how the rainbow has been co-opted by the LGBTQ community. You know, so for a while, people would see the rainbow and be like, oh, look, Jesus.
Yeah.
That's just God blessing us. So then the gay community took that. Can another community take the rays of sun poking through a cloud?
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Or just something different, you know, like the LGBTQ community takes rainbows. God people, they take rays through clouds. Maybe atheists could take something else. Like they could take I don't know, the sunrise. Or that's too one-to-one, but that's too lateral. They could take some other thing that people like.
I want to follow your logic here. I got lost. The atheists are now taking some other just like random beautiful thing as
any group of people could take a thing that people like and claim it as their own. You know,
got it, yeah.
Like we have milk now.
But we're talking about like a specific natural occurring phenomenon.
Oh,
Right?
it's a natural occurring, potentially.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at like the salmon just swimming upstream as they're jumping out of the river, and I'm like, see, God doesn't exist. What?
Well, in defense of the religious people, scientists have taken most of the universe and also dinosaurs and
taking a lot of the piss out of
so they already do have most of the universe.
Robert, I thought you were going to say when you said the salmon jumping up, I thought you were going to be like, that right now, that's BLM. We get that. We get salmon jumping.
What? Yep. Sorry.
God damn it. Ugh.
What else is left? There's people just co-opting things for themselves.
Waves crashing.
Ooh,
know?
Jarret, that's Nazi. No. You don't want that. You don't want any part of that.
But nice, cool, calm lake, that's Jews.
That tracks for me. Like as a Jewish people, we're just like,
still waters run deep.
Hello, I'm a lake. It's not a big deal.
This is a little bit unrelated, but when I went to Israel, our tour guide was this like real diehard, loved his country, just loved Israel so much. And we were driving through and there were these beams of light coming through the cloud. And it was actually like unlike anything I've seen in the United States. It was just like literally beams of light. It did look very divine. And he looked out the window and he go, when God make Israel, he go to heaven, copy paste. I was like, that's amazing.
Oh my God. I'm not going to be religious, but I'll follow that man.
He was great.
That's so funny.
And you know what? Jarret reminded me of a different idea. I also have a different idea. It's more offensive and may get some scorns.
Remember when you said even a shitty Rob Ryan idea is better than a regular shitty idea, or whatever you said?
And even a slightly offensive Rob Ryan idea is actually
extremely offensive.
All right, I'll stop us streaming real quick. And
oh man, now you guys got me nervous.
We're just psyching you up.
All right.
I mean, if it's offensive, you could always not tell it. There's that option.
You know, Rob.
It doesn't sound like an option. All right, here we go. I'm just going to say it. Because it's just an idea. I was thinking about it. I'll tell you what the spark of the idea was. Greta Thunberg is cool, but could you imagine dating her? It just seems like it would be rough. Get a lot, you just go out for a drive and she's just glaring at you in your car. Like there was weirdly this time in the past when people had like a countdown clock to when the Olsen twins would turn 18. Do you remember this, Brett? Jarret?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Leedy, it's
bizarre.
gross. A very bizarre thing. Anyway, no Thunberg clock. That's all. I don't see any gross guys on the internet being like, can't wait to get yelled at by that one.
I think the imagery of her, because she does have such intense eyes, just her staring at you while you're driving, you're like, hey, you want to go to Burger King? And she's like, the planet is dying. It's like, it is very funny.
Just her just yelling at you for everything that you do, because there's no way you're going to live up to her lifestyle and what she does. that was essentially the thought. And then it also made me think of that weird time in the 90s. Jarret, you remember? Of
I
there
was
being-
80 back then.
Thank you.
Here,
Really
couple of
funny?
ideas.
Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know how you feel about either of these. Number one being that this is the general idea is that this is the reason why you want to date her. So number one could be that, I mean, this is something that I experience where if I see somebody doing something that I know is bad for the community or bad for the world or bad for politics, it makes me want to shout at them and yell at them. And that's not a very good thing to do. Like, it makes me really angry, you know? And so it would make me happy to date her because then she would be yelling at them and I would just be like, thank you for saying that, you know? Like, I every time I see a car driving down the street and the exhaust is going crazy and they're like polluting, like, I just want to run after the car and just start yelling at them. I would love to date her. And then she does it. And I'm like, go, baby, go. You know? That's idea number one. Number two being that if you dated her, she would never be able to stay mad at you because you forget her birthday. And then you could just point out the window, just be like, look, there's a car that's, you know, crazy exhaust. She's like, I'll be right back.
I have an idea, and I think it gets a little bit more with a visual to the idea of what Rob's getting at. Can you imagine Greta Thunberg on a paddle boat?
Yeah, that's how she got here.
That's how she gets everywhere. I think we're going on some romantic paddle boat. And I'm just like, oh God. She's
we
like,
are on our way to the UN.
I was trying to think about that, like just taking small like jaunts, you know. Oh, hey, you want to go? You know, we could go apple picking, and it's like, I'll get the sailboat. You have to sail. You have to paddle everywhere you go. Good thoughts, guys.
right.
Love it. Thank you.
And now I think it's time to let people know about a little thing called Jarret.
Called Jarret. Jarret is on our Patreon.
A little thing called Jarret.
He comes in a little jar. If you guys are enjoying the show, well, go ahead.
And maybe you should check out the Patreon. Patreon.com/ITA pod. We got a lot of great exclusive episodes on there, a lot of cool tiers, high writing challenges, sleepover, story time, at the movies. Support the show for as little as $1 a month, as much as you like. Patreon.com/ITA pod. And next up, we got
All right.
Nicely done.
Okay. I feel like this premise might have been done. Let me know if you guys have heard something like this. I was waiting outside Walgreens I forgot my mask. Leedy went in to go get some stuff. So I waited outside and I had a cup of water. I finished the cup of water. And while I was waiting outside with the empty cup, somebody put $1 in it. And I felt very much like I needed to tell the person who put $1 in there that I was fine. Like that I wasn't homeless. I wasn't so much hurt by the fact that he did it because I wasn't dressed very well. But I followed him back in and I was like, hey man, I'm fine. And he was like, oh, well, can I have my $1 back? And I was like, no. That's it. That's the joke.
All right, cool. First question: is this real? Did this really happen?
This
Any part of it?
almost happened. Leedy did go in. I was standing in the place that beggars usually stand in, and I did have a cup, and I was like, and I was wearing like sweats that had stains on them, and I was like, somebody might think that I'm asking for money, so I'm gonna put this cup down.
There's a Simpsons joke it reminds me of, and it all happens very quickly. Where that does happen to. I believe Homer. Yeah, I think he's similarly out on the street and he's sitting down for some reason. He's down on his luck, and then somebody tosses him $1, and he's like, "Oh no, sir, I'm not." And as he's saying it, someone else gives him $1, and he's like, "Oh well." Oh, and then he kind of like quickly is like, that's not so bad. And then the next person who walks by is kind of like, he gives like a little look, like, whoa. And that person doesn't give him anything. He's like, cheapskate. So he just like within 10 seconds, just like goes to the whole like range promotion. So,
all right then. Well, I definitely can't do that joke because that has already been done very well.
In addition to that Simpsons bit, I feel like I've heard a similar
Yeah, I
premise
felt
before.
like it, but I also was like, man, it also is a genuine thought that I'm having here. So I was like, yeah, I might as well try it. All right, let me see if I can find another.
Maybe
joke.
the direction that you go in is not that somebody put $1 in your cup, but that you consciously had to like you had a coffee and you were holding it in a way that people wouldn't see it, because that is the piece of the equation that turns you into a homeless person.
Oh,
Like
that's very funny.
everything else about you is so like just got out of bed. The only thing that's missed, if you had a cup in your hand or a piece of cardboard that said "please help," that's the only thing that you needed, and so you had to hide the coffee for that reason.
Yeah, that's a good note. I'm probably gonna give up on that joke, but that is a good way to fix it and make it a little bit more unique. Okay, so something that I've learned with living with Leedy is that if you are going to throw something to an artist and they're going to catch it, they're probably not a good artist. So Leedy's a pretty good artist, and we've broken a lot of glasses.
As if to say that if you are good at catching things, you do sports instead of doing art.
Yes.
I'm with you. It's funny. I'm not seeing where to go with it.
Okay. Okay, how about this? Somebody asked me is this milk bad? And I said, hard to say. Who did it vote for?
Can I look at its Twitter real quick? Rob, your mic is off.
Oh, and now you've zoomed in to show how
Wow.
to compensate for the mic not working. You've upped the visual game.
Now you're in black and white, Rob.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Did you
so
have
there's-
notes for Brett's previous joke that we just didn't hear because your mic was off by accident?
I don't believe I
he
did.
didn't. I saw his face.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I did have a thought, but
Oh.
Brett already said that he wanted to move on. I just thought, because I said, maybe I did. I said, you're so absurd sometimes. Your jokes are so absurd that I kind of like you, like piggybacking on what might feel like a little tropey as a joke or something that people may know, or they can kind of see it, and then you just do something silly. You're like, man, I had this cup, but I also had this cardboard sign that said "Please help." So maybe that was it. I don't know.
You know, that's
Yeah.
that's a good point. Yeah.
Just stuff like that. So it's like, oh, you definitely looked hopeless. It wasn't just the cup. It wasn't just the whatever, you know.
Yeah.
I just had to vomit on myself because I just whatever. Anyway, I like that bit. This one, I was complimenting you. There's this structure that I've picked up on. And you've done many times now, and I don't even know if it's purposeful, where you bring something that you're not quite sure about. I'm not sure, it doesn't get a laugh, you don't think it's great, and then you have a one-liner that's so funny, like this one. And I'm like, wait, you know that's good. You know that's a funny joke. Are you saving that? This is your closer?
This is Brett's version of what? This old thing?
Is this milk bad? I don't know. Who did it vote for? That's excellent. It's just a good little cut down of culture today without being so obvious about it.
Yeah. I think my concern would be that I don't actually feel like somebody's bad because of who they voted for. So I would definitely try to have to up that snarkiness, which I think you did in your rendition of it, Rob, and I think that's a good angle to take on it.
It's really funny.
Clearly
On the back of a bad milk bottle, it would say missing my rights.
Well, if you smell it and it's clearly gone bad, so you go, oof, canceled.
That's great. That's a great one-liner. I love that.
Yeah. All right. Is that it for this?
Wait,
Is that it for that bit?
longer.
Leedy's obviously drawing something that
We should
recently
at
said.
least talk about something.
Oh, you know what? If
we have
you
a lot
know,
of people
do you
do
know what's
that.
true? If your milk is blue or red, it's bad.
But they're not the same, Rob.
That's why I vote green.
And one of them
Green
is
party.
worse than the other, obviously.
I want blue milk.
You're voting for the 1%?
Ooh.
Hey,
I like
I
that.
like that.
The thing about if an artist is good at catching something, then they're not a good artist.
Right, that one. I love the visual, by the way. Just the thought of you not learning that fact ever, and you just keep on you keep forgetting. You're like, right, she's an artist. You just keep tossing a glass. Hey, Leedy, heads up.
In reality, I'm a freaking great catch. That's not true.
She's a good catch. She's a great catch. She
You
can't
are a good
catch.
catch, but you're not
Oh,
going to
yay.
Can't catch. Just great catch.
What if
The Leedy
you
waffles between extremely impressively, surprisingly coordinated, and as if she's the Michelin Man trying to walk through the apartment, just bumping into everything.
What if you framed it like, I feel like when you were growing up, you either played sports, or if you weren't good at sports, you then did some kind of art, like you became a theater kid or a painter or something like that.
Well,
So now
okay.
whenever I meet an artist to try to figure out if they're good or not, I always carry a ball with me. And when they say they're an artist, I go, think fast. And if they catch it, then I don't go see their show.
I like that beginning part a lot. It's a good setup, and then I could just be like, every time I throw something to my girlfriend, I'm like, oh yeah, she's a good artist.
I think about something she drew earlier, and I'm like, she's not gonna catch this.
I do. There is something enjoyable about the fact of you're testing somebody's abilities by testing their abilities in something else. There's something cute about that. You know, like the audition for art school is just they just toss you a football and you're just like, ah.
Well, one kid just lets it hit in their face, and they're like, ooh, a genius.
All right, now here we
Well, if we don't need to stall anymore, then I guess it's time for Leedy to show us her drawings. Leedy.
All right. First up, I have bad milk.
Yeah.
Don't tread on me.
Don't tread on me.
Perfect.
All right. Then before
Oh, wait,
Rob
would you?
showed us. Sorry, what?
I shouldn't have waited so long before I mentioned
Sorry.
this.
Say it, and then I'll go back to the other one.
I feel like this MAGA guy would not like the letters MLK.
He's like, fruity pebbles. Ah!
Cocoa Pebbles. Ah!
All right, and then you guys already saw this one. So
Yeah.
that's what it looks like when I wipe.
Just an alien.
Just an alien. You turn into an alien when you wipe, I guess. And then before Rob showed us the pictures of him as Doctor Strange, I compared these two.
Whoa!
Very
great.
similar.
That's a very nice, flattering photo. I think, too.
Mm.
Picked a good one. Wow, look at the hair. Look at the hair thing. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This,
your hair is very similar there.
Though this Doctor Strange, go back to the other one. This Doctor Strange, he's clearly looking at something that's like, oh my God, the space time, the fabric of space time is being threatened. I'm gonna have to use all my magic to solve this problem. And this guy's like, I could go for tacos.
Shave that
I can eat.
goatee and you
I could eat.
take away all those problems.
All right, then after that, I have, how may I assist you today? I'm gonna keep the shit out of this.
Where's your human face?
Black eyes. I love it. That's so
Then I
good.
have, how's that? Can you see me? Now.
That glam up. Wow.
Watch it again. I have Black Lives Matter. Salmon is ours now. And I believe last but not least,
That's exactly what I pictured.
That's so funny.
This is almost like Rob pulled up and Greta Thunberg was just standing there and she's just glaring at everybody who's driving and Rob is just trying not to look over. Like,
she's meant to be in the passenger seat, but this was the one I asked you guys to stall for. So it was very, very quick.
Just
That is
perfect
it for
eye
me.
lines. Those eye lines are just perfect.
all right, Leedy Corbin, where can people find you?
You can find me on all the socials under my name and also on Patreon. I would love it if you would join my Patreon. I stream most days. I don't know the days yet. I don't have a schedule. Sometimes I stream before ITA and rate them. But come follow me on Twitch. I'm playing games. I'm making drawings. It is twitch.tv/LeedyArt. So come along.
All right.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Leedy. Amazing job as always. Thank you all for watching and chiming in. We love you guys, and we will see you hopefully next Tuesday at noon.
Brett and I are off to go get jabbed.
Jabbed.
Get boosted.
Nice, a new jab club.
Outro go here. Thanks so much for watching. Check back every Monday for new episodes, or you can listen wherever you enjoy podcasts. If you want to help support the show, tell your friends how much you like Is This Anything? Or get involved, like an episode, share, comment, subscribe. If you want more Is This Anything, you got to join our Patreon at patreon.com/ITAPod. We have a ton of awesome exclusive content on there, and you can join for as little as $1 a month. Check out the links in the description, and hopefully we'll see you next week.